This is the iPhone 4S, a beloved design by many people who have owned this device over several of years. Well, today we are going to do a review on iOS 9.3 for your iPhone 4S. We're going to take a look at app switching speeds, the new features included within the operating system itself, and as well as some general tasking just to see how this baby performs. And we're also going to look at the battery life in this review here. The iPhone 4S has been through several updates and several of them have been buggy, but I think this may be one you guys might want to do here with the iPhone 4S. It is an improvement over 9.2.1, but it's not better than iOS 6. But still, if you already updated, you might want to go ahead and do this update for your iPhone 4S. So let's get into this video right here, right now. So kicking things off, let's start off by hopping into settings and going over down until we find general, and we're going to see how much space that we have before we go ahead and do this software update on the iPhone 4S. And scrolling down, you can see we do have 5.3 gigabytes available, and we're showing this to see if we're going to save some space. So let's go into the software update and let's go ahead and, we already downloaded, but let's go ahead and install this baby and see how long it takes to go ahead and do that. So agree to the terms and services. We all know the drill here. We're gonna agree. It's gonna say verifying update here. And this process took quite a bit, so I skipped through it. It was actually, right around 29 minutes to do this. And then we go through the typical, update process. When we get to the home screens, you got to go through all this. And welcome to iPhone. And hopping into settings, we are going to show you how much space we did save here. And actually, we gained about 800 megabytes, which is awesome for this update. So shout out to Apple for that. Now let's get into a boot up test where we're going to boot the iPhone 4S. And this took quite a while. It took 1 minute 10 seconds to be exact. So that's cool there. Also showing you Siri just to prove this is a 4S for all you 4s who think it's not. Going into iBooks, you can see we did bring the iCloud for iBooks feature here in iOS 9.3.1. Also news features, favorites, liking, sharing, and curated content, which is awesome. Improvements for the news application itself here within iOS 9.3.1. Now let's get into the health application. There are some third-party tracking improvements here within the iPhone 4S and iOS 9.3.1. So if you're a health nut, this is for you here. Also, when we go into the notes application within iOS 9.3.1, you can now go ahead and lock your notes. So if somebody gets into your iPhone, they cannot go and find your goodies within your notes applications because of password creation. Also, there is no night shift mode within the iPhone 4S. If we check out the iPhone 5S, you see it does have night shift mode, and I think this is, restricted to 64-bit processors, A7 chip and up, so no there for you on the iPhone 4S. Now let's get into, a general UI switching test and just showing you how the general UI performs. You can see the power button, the home button, everything shows the lock screen just fine, no lags there. Going in, no lags there. Let's try that one more time. You can see nothing there, just a little slight delay in terms of pulling up the app tray. Also, let's go into the camera. Now this is where it does lag quite a bit. The camera has now gotten pretty slow on the iPhone 4S, so if you're a camera picture taker, this is not going to be too quick for you. But just scrolling through the general elements of the UI, going through notifications, the today list, everything just seems to perform just fine for you. So you're not going to have no troubles in terms of just doing the normal everyday things such as turning your brightness up, going through tasks. Now where it does hiccup just a bit is going to be in the actual applications of the device, which we're going to show in this next portion of the video. As you can see, we have nothing open here, so this is a fair test. Let's go into calendar. Let's wait for that to load up. Let's come back out. Let's go into weather. Let's come back out once that loads up. And you can see it's a little bit slow, but the system apps are going to be the quickest here on the iPhone 4S. Coming back out, let's go into news. Let's wait for that to load. You can see there is a pause here, whereas you don't see that in newer iPhones. Let's go into calculator. No problems there. Let's come back out. Let's go into clock. No problems there. Let's come back out. Let's go into the App Store. Now this took quite a while here. The App Store is low. As you can see, we're still waiting. And finally, it has loaded up right there. You see that took quite a bit of time. So let's go into YouTube, and here's a third-party application. You can see that this takes quite a while. This could be Google's fault, but I don't think it is. I think it's because of the restricted hardware now of the 4S. It's just getting a little bit long in the tooth, but you can see that took quite a while. Now let's go into Twitter. This also took quite a while. So your third-party apps are going to take some time to load, so be aware of that if you're going to do this update on iOS 9.3.1 for your iPhone 4S here. Now going into the battery life was not that great overall, about 3 hours to 4 hours on screen time, but it is getting quite old. So should you do this update to iOS 9.3.1? Well, it's totally up to you. In my case, I would do it because I don't use this as my main phone anymore, but that might be different for you. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up.